start. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Learning Path. This is Dr. Meena, Head Department of Commerce from Petition College, Chennai. Once again, thank you all for all your support for reaching me more than 100 subscribers. In this video, I'm going to explain some more problems, how to calculate material variances in standard costing and variance analysis. The first sum, here it is. The budgeted actual material, the budgeted here it represents the standard actual material as follows. Calculate material variances. So calculate material variances means we need to calculate definitely all three variances. Price variance, standard variance, that is volume variance, I mean the quantity usage variance as well as the cost variance. So look at the information, how this problem model here it is. We have the budgeted as well as actual. Budgeted here it represents the standard. So we have two kind of materials. In the previous videos, we calculated the material variances for where the concern is using only the single material. In this problem, we are going to discuss how to calculate the material variances for two materials, X1, Y. Here we have the standard price for X and standard price for Y as well as the standard quantity. Likewise, we have the actual quantity for X, actual price for X, likewise for Y separately. When you have this kind of problem, how to proceed to calculate the material price variances. Now look at the solution. Again, I made use of the same kind of table, but along with the additional information value. How I calculate the value for both standard as well as actual. Look at that. 600 quantity into price per kg, that is per unit is 3. So what is the value? 1800. Like this, 800 into 4, 3200. So likewise, I made a calculation to calculate the value of the standard quantity as well as the actual quantity for both X and Y. And likewise, I calculated finally what is the standard quantity by having the summation of X and Y, that is 1400, and then what is the value? 5000. Likewise, I calculate what is the actual quantity, 1400, and then value is 5000. So we need to work out this kind of tabular column when we have this kind of problem. Next, look at that, how I made a calculation for material price variance. Material price variance, as usual formula, standard price minus actual price within the brackets, that answer to be multiplied with the actual quantity. Here I made a calculation separately for X and Y. Finally, we can have the summation. First, I need to calculate for X. What is the actual quantity is given? Everything is ready-madely available in this problem. It's very easy to follow. So what is the standard quantity for X as well as Y? So we have the calculation 600 and then 800 for X separately. We have the price, standard price as well as actual price per unit is also separately given. So all information ready-madely available in this problem. Just we need to pick the information from the problem and write the formula correctly and apply in the formula. So as per the information, actual quantity for X is 800. Actual quantity for X is 800. So 4 minus 3 in the, 3 minus 4 in the brackets. 800 is the actual quantity, standard price minus actual price. So for X, again, I'm telling how to calculate the variance. Price variance means 800 into within the brackets 3 minus 4. So look at that. This is all about price variance, no? So we need to compare the standard price with the actual price. You should not change the formula. Only the formula is standard price. From the standard price only, you need to check the actual price. So this is the way how I calculate the material price variance. So 3 minus 4 minus 1. So minus 1 into 800, 8 minus 800. So that's what I mentioned as adverse. Likewise, I calculated for material Y. So material Y, look at the information for material Y, the actual quantity is 600. And then standard price is 4 and actual price is 3. So look at this calculation. 4 minus 3, I'm getting positive answer 1. 1 into 600. So that's what I mentioned in the brackets as favorable. So 800 for X, we are getting as a negative answer. For Y, it is a positive answer. 600 means what is the resulting answer when we combine both the materials? 200 adverse, because the negative answer is more than the positive answer. So 800 minus 600, we are getting 200 as adverse. And next, I made a calculation as material quantity usage variance. So as per the formula, standard quantity minus actual quantity within the brackets, that answer to be multiplied with the standard price. So for X, the standard quantity is 600, the actual quantity is 800. For Y, 800 standard quantity, actual quantity is 600. So this thing to be within the brackets, and the actual price and the to be multiplied with the answer 4 and 3. So look at that. 3 is the actual, that is standard price, and then 600 minus 800, so 600. So 600 minus 800 is 200. Minus 200 we are getting minus 200 into 3, 600 as adverse. Like this, we made a calculation. 800 minus 600 minus 200. So minus 200 into 4, and then you will get, sorry, 800 minus 600, you will get plus 200. 200 into 4, 800. This is favor, this is adverse. So here the favor is more than the adverse. So we are getting the resulting answer as 200 favorable. So by making use of this, both the answers, I mean the price variance as well as the usage variance, we come to know the cost variance. How to calculate the cost variance means the price variance is 200 adverse and usage variance is 200 favorable. So getting cancelled. 200 is adverse, 200 is favorable means what is the material cost variance? It's 0. So whether our answer is correct or wrong, we will check out. Now look at this slide. Material cost variances, standard cost minus actual cost. What is our standard cost? Look at the problem. Standard cost is 5,000. Actual cost is 5,000. So we can make use this formula, standard cost minus actual cost, 5,000 minus 5,000 is 0. The same answer we got it when we have the verification, because the cost variance is the combination of material price variance as well as the quantity variance. Material price variance is 200 adverse, quantity variance is 200 favorable. So 200 adverse and 200 favorable means we'll get 0. So both the left hand side and right hand side we are getting 0 means our answers are right. So this is another problem model, how to work out the material variances when you have the quantity, price and everything given in the problem itself. By calculating the value, we'll come to know what are the variances. The next problem in this video, I'm going to explain when we have the loss, standard loss is given means how to work out. Look at that. The standard cost of chemical mixture is as follows. 40% material C at rupees 20 per kg. So we are making use of material C at what percentage? 40%, because it's a chemical mixture. We are making use of two kind of materials as per this problem. One is material C and material D. So material C we are using as a proportion as 40%, but material D proportion is 60%. And look at this respective rate per kg. C is 20 per kg and D is 30 per kg. A standard loss of 10% of input is expected in production. So we may incur a loss of 10% of input is expected in production. So we need to consider this point for calculating the loss of input in the future. So what is the cost records all about means 90 kg metal C at a cost of rupees 18 per kg, 110 kg metal D at a cost of 34 per kg. The quantity produced was 182 kg of good product. So what is this quantity produced? This is called it as actual output. What is this? The quantity produced was 182 kgs of good product is only the actual output. So we have the actual output and we need to work out the possible material variance. What is the possible material variance means? Whenever the problem is asking about the material, calculate the material variance means we definitely will calculate the material cost variance, price variance, as well as usage variance. In this problem, they are asking possible material variance means when we are going to make use of more than one material, we need to work out the material mix variance. So that is the additional question we are going to work out in this problem. Now look at that, how we can proceed this problem. So I prepared a table here, that is particulars, standard cost, actual cost. The standard cost, under this I mentioned quantity, rate, value, like that. I have a columns under actual cost. Look at the calculation, how I made it. C is equal to 40% of 90 plus 110 kg is equal to 200. What does this means? Look at the problem. 40% of material only I'm going to use from C material. Now 90 kgs I'm going to use. Look at that, 90 kgs. And then what is that 90 kgs means? You need to work out the 110 kgs, 110 kgs. So 90 plus 110. Okay, so 90 plus 110, I'm going to use 40% only. So 90 plus 110 kg is equal to 200. So 200 into 40% means what is the standard quantity I'm using for C? That is 80. Likewise, you need to work out for D also. 90 plus 110 kg, 200. On that 200, what is 60%? 120. So 120 standard quantity we are going to make use as per standard for the material D. So 80 plus 120, that gives you 200. The summation is 200. Again, I'm repeating how I got 80, 40% on 90 and 110. Okay, likewise, how I can do the calculation for material D. 60% on 90 and 110. Will get this calculation means 80 and 120. The summation is 200. Here I mentioned over the respective rate. The respective rate is 20 and 30. 20 and 30. This is all about what is that? Standard cost. So don't take this rate. This is all about actual. So this is only talking about the standard. That's what I made calculation 40%, 60% on this. Okay. And then so 20, 30, multiply 80 into 20, 1600, 120 into 30, 3600. So we made calculation like that. So 1600 plus 3600 we get 5200. So this is all about standard cost. On that, we may expect a standard loss. Already we made estimation, that is predetermined one. That loss will happen at 10%. So 200 into 10% means what was the loss actually? 20. So 200 minus 20, what is the standard quantity? 180. So finally we can conclude ourselves 180 is the standard quantity. That value is 5200. And look at the next column, actual cost. This is very easy to follow. 90 kg at the rate 80, 110 kg at the rate 34. That's what I mentioned you were 90 into 80, 1620, 110 into 34, 3740. So have the summation 90 plus 110, 200, 1620 plus 3740, 5360. So get the summation. And then here I mention once again the same answer here. Nothing is changing in the actual. Only the changes here, the standard quantity, because we may expect some standard loss, that is 20. So 200 minus 20, 180. So 180 is equal, and then 5200 value. Again, I rewrite this value, this 200, again rewrite it here. And then I rewrite the 5360 in the last line, a row also. Okay. So by making use of this table, we can work out the variances. The first variance I made calculation for cost. So cost, the formula is standard cost for actual output and actual cost. What is the standard cost for actual output? I made the working notes. Why I want to make the working notes means for that 180 kgs, I may expect a cost as 5000 rupees. So as per our calculation, for 180 kgs, 5200 means what is the standard cost for actual output? What is the actual output? What is the actual output? This is 182 kgs. Again, I am repeating, for 180 kgs, we are incurring 5,200 means. The standard quantity is 180 kgs. We are going to incur 5,200 means. But the formula is, what is the standard cost for actual output? What is our actual output? Actual output is 182 kgs. So 180 kgs is equal to 5,200 means 182 kgs is equal to question mark. When you are doing the cross multiplication, you will come to know what is the standard cost for actual output 182 kgs, that is 5,258. So 5,258 minus what is the actual cost I calculated, 5,360. So 5,258 minus 5,360, what is my answer? 102 adverse. Why we mention adverse? Because we are getting negative answer. So I have an understanding, this calculation important. Again, I'm repeating, 180 cost is the standard quantity we required for, that is the cost is, what is the standard cost for 180 quantity? 5,200. So as per the standard, 180 quantity and 5,200 cost means actual production is 182. So whenever we are considering the standard cost, we need to consider the standard cost for actual output only. Actual output is 182. We have the information for 180. Then what is for 182? Calculate in this way, get the standard cost for actual output minus actual cost. So this is the way how we calculate the cost variance. Next, we will move on to the material price variance by applying the same formula, standard price minus actual price, that has to be multiplied with the actual quantity. Standard price we have 20 and actual price is 18. Everything is available. Look at that. X for C and D we calculated separately. Standard price is 20 minus 18. And then for D, 30 minus 34. And that has to be multiplied by the actual quantity. What is the actual quantity as per the problem? So look at the problem. The actual quantity is 90 for C, 110 for D. So use this information to calculate the material price variance. So 90 kgs, 110 kgs. So compare with your prices of standard and actual price for C and D separately. Get the answer whether you are getting negative or positive. So for C we are getting favorable and for D we are getting negative answer. So 440 is the high amount. So we are getting again the balance in the negative sign. So minus 260, minus 440 minus plus 180 means what is your resulting answer? 260. So 260 is adverse. And next calculation, material quantity or usage variance. So you may look at this formula, standard quantity for actual output minus actual quantity used. So standard quantity for actual output, it is not available in the problem. We need to calculate by using this formula, standard quantity into actual output divided by total standard output. So make use of this formula when you have this kind of problem and you don't know about the standard quantity for actual output. And look at that, we calculated separately for material C and D, and then we have the formula. So 80 into 182 divided by 180, okay, and 120 divided by 180 into 182. So have this calculation as per this formula to calculate the standard quantity for actual output. Then you will come to know what is the standard quantity for actual output, that is separately for C and D, and then get that answers for calculating the material usage variance. So material C is equal to, you have the formula here, standard price. So standard price of C and D, what is that? And get the answers of standard quantity. Already we calculated now only 80.89 and 121.33 separately for C and D. Put it here. And then already we have the information, the problem says what is the actual quantity. It's given in the problem. Multiply with the resulting answer of quantity, that is the actual price and everything. You will get the answer like this. So usage variance 182 adverse for C, 340 favorable for D. Okay, so you will get this answer. 340 minus 182 means what is your answer? 158. So what is your material usage variance means 158 is the answer. So 150, how we got 158 is the material usage variance. 340 favorable, that is positive answer. Minus 182 is the adverse. So adverse answer means we are getting here the more is positive, this is adverse. So what is your result answer? 158 favorable. So we can have the verification. Already we may finish calculation for material cost variance, that is 102 adverse. So 102 adverse, and usage variance we calculated 158 favor, and material price variance we calculated as 260 adverse. So we calculated, so here it is, sorry, here it is plus. So not is equal to 260 adverse plus 158 favorable, not is equal to, please change it as plus. Again, I'm repeating, 260 adverse plus 158 favorable. So what is the resulting answer? 102 adverse here, because adverse is more. That is, negative answer is more than positive. So 260 minus 260 plus 1 here plus, again I'm telling, I wrongly mentioned here is equal to, it is plus. So 260 adverse plus 158. So you'll get 102 adverse. Here also 102 adverse. So our answers are correct. We are getting left side as well as right side as the same answer. So here we have the verification whether our answers are right. Okay. And one more variance we can calculate in this problem. That's what they ask you to calculate, possible material mix variance. So this is new to you. Look at this formula. Standard quantity has to be multiplied with revised standard quantity, actual quantity. Okay. So mix variance means you need to have this term as revised standard quantity. How to calculate the revised standard quantity means have this formula: total weight of actual mix divided by total weight of standard mix, the whole multiplied by individual standard quantity. So make use of this formula to calculate the revised standard quantity for C and D separately. Total weight of actual mix, total weight of standard mix. Both the answers are 200 as per our calculation made it in the tabular column. That is, standard quantity is, summation is how much? 200. Actual quantity is how much? 200. So likewise, we calculated here what is the total weight of actual mix, what is the total weight of standard mix into individual standard quantity. So what is the individual standard quantity? So look at that. Individual standard quantity is 80 and 120. 80 for C, 120 for D. So this is the thing I want to highlight. The individual standard quantity, that is C and D for individual standard quantity, 80 and 120. So get the answer for C and D and get the summation. C is 200 adverse and D is 300 favor. So you'll come to know what is the final material mix variance, that is 100 favorable. So in this problem, we additionally learned how to calculate the material mix variance. For calculating the material mix variance, we need to calculate the revised standard quantity by applying this formula. Then you will calculate the material mix variance. I hope this video will be very useful for you to have more understanding how to calculate the material variances and as well as the material mix variance. If you want more videos, subscribe, share and comment below. Click the bell button so you will be notified when I post a video. Thanks for watching. See you again in next video.